Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I've never seen such cope in my entire life. Maybe 3 weeks to a month ago, I covered a video of Benny Thompson essentially admitting to the media that the January 6th sham hearing was likely to not lead to any criminal charges, essentially admitting that they don't actually have evidence of a crime being committed and that most likely they're not going to be making a criminal referral. Makes you question, well, what was the whole point of this thing in the first place? Of course, we know the point, but you get what I mean. This massive investigation, this hearing, all of the subpoenas, presenting, as they say, evidence, indisputable evidence of a crime, while knowing very well that in the end they weren't going to be able to prove anything. An absolute waste of time and taxpayer dollars. Nothing but a partisan garbage propaganda witch hunt. And so as the January 6th hearings failures continue to compile, continue to stack up, you know what else is stacking up simultaneously? Left-wing coping. And the individual inhaling the most amount of copium I have ever seen, I mean record levels of copium, is of course the biggest Washington snake, the biggest liar, one of the most corrupt politicians of our lifetimes, anti-Trump lunatic Adam Schiff, who is coping beyond measure. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so Adam Schiff is really not happy that once again another witch hunt, another investigation is totally falling flat and having absolutely no impact at all on the next election. Adam Schiff says DOJ's decision not to prosecute Trump is political because we've already seen the evidence.
And I've been a part of many congressional investigations that have been contemporaneous with Justice Department investigations. But it is unprecedented for Congress to be so far out ahead of the Justice Department in a complex investigation, because as he was saying, as Andrew was saying, they've got potent tools to get information. They can enforce their own subpoenas in a way we can't. We have to go hat in hand to them to enforce our subpoenas or to enforce a criminal contempt. And the idea that a year and a half after these events, they would not have talked to these witnesses, that even the Fulton County District Attorney is way ahead of them, is I think cause for great concern.
Are they afraid? Are they afraid of the answer? In other words, if the answer becomes overwhelming criminal evidence against Trump and they have it, then it puts more onus on them in the eyes of people inside the department who are going to know it and potentially history. Do you think they're afraid, or is there some other reason?
I don't think it's that they're afraid so much as a desire after, honestly, terrible leadership by Bill Barr. Look, I'm glad Bill Barr finally found a line he wouldn't cross, but he crossed a lot of lines before he got there, including intervening in criminal cases implicating the president to reduce Roger Stone's sentence and make Mike Flynn's case go away completely. And I think there's a desire of the Justice Department to restore the independence of the department, to avoid controversy. And while I appreciate all of that, I think that if they take that too far, that is that the desire to avoid controversy, and they somehow, in practical effect, immunize the former president because it would be controversial to investigate a former president, that's a political decision, and I think a very dangerous one.
There is no bigger clown in the world of politics, no one that comes even close to Adam Schiff. If you take the time to think about somebody who has completely lost any semblance of credibility, somebody who's just such a despicable liar, you think about the worst of the worst when it comes to the world of politics, Adam Schiff always comes to mind. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's pretty bad, Jamie Raskins is pretty bad, Liz Cheney's on probably the same level. Nobody comes close to this corrupt, duplicitous fool known as Adam Schiff. There is nobody. He claims we've already seen the evidence. What evidence is this guy talking about? Nobody has seen your evidence. There is no evidence of a crime, which is why the DOJ is not willing to pursue anything criminal in relation to Donald Trump or any of his associates. But according to Adam Schiff, he's going to add another conspiracy onto this conspiracy. Actually, the reason why the DOJ is unwilling to pursue Donald Trump in relation to January 6th is not because there's a lack of evidence. According to Adam Schiff, they've presented the evidence. It's actually because Bill Barr has somehow compromise the DOJ, even though he hasn't been the Attorney General for basically 2 years. Somehow, I guess the spirit of Bill Barr still exists and still lingers in the halls of the Department of Justice, and is stopping them from pursuing these clear crimes that Donald Trump has committed. I mean, this guy is a complete lunatic. There is no other way to say it. He has completely lost the plot. He is totally unwilling to operate within reality. In Adam Schiff's mind, the end justifies the means. At any and all costs, it doesn't matter what has to be done, just pursue criminal charges against Donald Trump. Nothing else matters. I've never seen anybody so fragile. I mean, we get it, Adam Schiff. Donald Trump called you a pencil neck, and you still haven't gotten over it. And now you want to put Donald Trump behind bars. Shows you the authoritarian nature of these Democrat goons. I mean, based on that logic, calling somebody a pencil neck justifies endless, unjustified criminal pursuit, even in an environment that totally lacks any evidence whatsoever. How are we still having this conversation? How is Adam Schiff still chairman of the Intelligence Committee? How is this guy even allowed to show his face on any network? Also shows you the total lack of credibility at MSNBC. He's done nothing but come on air and lie and misdirect and claim that there's evidence when there has never been evidence. The infamous quote from back, I believe, in 2017 or possibly 2018, where Adam Schiff stated that there was more than circumstantial evidence of a crime and collusion between the Donald Trump campaign, Donald Trump himself, and the Russian Kremlin. Of course, we know exactly where that led. It led to nowhere. It led to nothing, a total nothing burger. Adam Schiff then goes on the record on the House floor 2 times, not once, falsifying evidence, completely misrepresenting the Donald Trump Ukraine phone call transcript, paraphrasing Donald Trump to seem as if he was some sort of gangster, some sort of Italian mafioso, trying to blackmail the Ukrainian government. A couple months ago, Adam Schiff introducing into the record as evidence, once again, falsified evidence, edited text messages. And so the question remains that I just posed, how is this guy allowed to show his face anywhere? If he was a lawyer acting within the legal system, at this point he would be disbarred. Yet he remains the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, is privy to the most classified information, and he continues to run his propaganda racket on the American people with help from MSNBC. But probably the most astonishing phenomenon is the actual MSNBC viewer. I mean, who is watching this guy after being dragged around for 6 years with the same garbage? As Adam Schiff continues to move the goalposts over and over and over again, you continue to fall for it. I mean, at the end of the day, Adam Schiff's not really to blame. It's the viewer. It's the people who continue to eat this stuff up. It's unbelievable. But of course, the grift continues. And in the end, as even Adam Schiff is now admitting, the result will always be the same. No charges, total exoneration. There is no evidence of any kind of crime despite what Adam Schiff is saying. He claims the evidence has been presented. We've already seen the evidence, but the DOJ just doesn't want to pursue it, he claims. But anybody watching this stuff honestly knows that there is absolutely no evidence of any crime that these Democrats are trying to prove. Nothing. Zero. And it's actually crazy to me how you have millions of Democrats that are watching this stuff. If you look at the polling data, a very large majority of the people who are actually following the January 6th garbage are mostly self-identified Democrats. I mean, they're the ones who are supposedly paying attention, and it just baffles the mind that they can't see through this absolute giant turd that is the January 6th committee. I mean, what's their smoking gun? Cassidy Hutchinson? Oh, there it is, folks. You got him. And probably the craziest part of all of it is that even if Cassidy Hutchinson's claims during her testimony were accurate, again, still no direct evidence of a crime or an organized coup to overthrow the US government. They have absolutely nothing. And really all that needs to be said to all of them, and especially Adam Schiff and the rest of these lefty loons, is keep coping. At this point, it's entertaining. Don't worry, leftoids. You definitely got him this time. Donald Trump's definitely going to jail this time, leftoids. Oh man, I can't wait to see the look on their faces when he becomes president again. Please let me live through that timeline. But that's what I got for you guys on this video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna get back to work. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.